Are we maybe freaking out a little bit too much over this report?
Well, I think to your point, what a difference a couple of months make. Because if I remember back in December, we had just coming off economic data that frankly looked recessionary, and everything that we looked at suggested that the economy was losing momentum around the turn of the year, and it suggested that things could deteriorate further, going into the first quarter. Now with data revisions as well as just stronger data in January, that's basically been revised away. Momentum actually looks quite strong into the turn of the year, and it certainly looks like we're far away from recession at this point. So you're absolutely right. The economy does look hot based on this latest round of data that we've received.
But is that necessarily bad? I mean, I know that strictly from the lens of just inflation, that yes, that's bad. But I guess my question is, can we sort of live with an inflation rate that is elevated as long as we have, I guess, a strong enough consumer, a strong enough jobs market to, I guess, withstand it?
Well, I mean, so I think that kind of you're asking me is really what's in the 2% number. Why have central banks decided that 2% is the number? And I would say there's frankly probably no real magic sauce in 2%. It could have been, 3%, or really price stability would suggest zero in inflation. I think historically where that 2% number has come from was the Bank of New Zealand, several decades ago, kind of used that number because they thought their own CPI, the way it was measured, was biased up by about 2%. So they thought 2% was actually consistent with price stability. And then all central banks, sort of kind of jumped on the 2% bandwagon. So where will the Fed be? Well, Chair Powell has come out and said, well, we're not going to change our 2% inflation target, but it's certainly possible that, if they get close to 2.5% to 3%, they could be okay with that just coming down from 9. Now I have to say that the recent inflation data that we've gotten, does suggest that inflation is potentially going to be more sticky, and it could suggest they need to do more in order to get it down.